Hey y'all, I'm Blaine Phillips.
And I'm Phillips-LeVan.
We're married, like just a minute ago, but we've been together for 14 years.
We have a teenage daughter.
Which means she's basically an adult, right?
We're also growing a business on the side together.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Through all of that, we've learned how to improve so many aspects of our lives and show up in an amazing way.
So we decided to host a podcast to share our journey with you.
It's called Let's Do Life Together, because that's just what we want to do with you.
So if you could use some tips and tricks on how to make life a little smoother,
then you're in the right place.
come on in and let's do life. But you're better at starting them than I am.
Oh, that's your start? Yeah. I say bring in the podcast, Jason, and that's how you choose to bring in the podcast?
Yes.
That was a great intro.
It was. It was very appropriate.
Yes, you're so good. How about, hey guys, welcome back. Episode 59.
That's a lot.
I know. You've been talking into that microphone for 59 times. Can you believe it? Is it growing on you? Do you like it?
We're working on it.
We're working
59
on
more. We'll see how it goes.
We're working on you liking it, or we're working on you getting better at it. What are we working on? All the things?
All those things.
All right. Well, I guess we can compare your current to your first. You see what I did there?
This is very clever. We're talking about comparisons today.
Wow, we're killing it on this intro. You have such a clever intro, and I had a clever segue. You like that? Yes, we are, in fact, talking about comparison today. I'm sure you have seen the quote. I love to start a podcast about a quote, huh? Anyway, I'm sure you've seen the quotes out there that comparison is the thief of joy. And while I agree that that can, in fact, be true, I am here to argue today that comparison can be both good and bad. Yes, I said it can be good because I think it can be. Do you agree? I hope so, because we're about to do a whole podcast episode about it.
Right. So there's good and bad. So which do you want to hear first? The good or the bad?
If someone asks you that question, what are you usually like? I have good news and bad news. Jason, which would you like to hear first?
Probably the bad.
I'm always a bad news first. I'm like, just lay it on me and then we'll finish on a good note. Although I'm going to be honest and say I don't always fully give the good news as good a news as it gets because I'm probably still a little stuck on thinking about the bad.
Yeah, it really depends on how bad the bad is.
I guess. Then there's the sandwich technique. Does that relate to parenting though? Like you give a little good news, like the bread is the good part. A little good news.
Some good, some bad, some good.
Sandwich it in between. Sandwich the bad in between two goods. We're getting off topic. Let's bring it on back. Dialing it in. Comparison. We won't compare our podcast to anyone else's. Oh man, I'm killing it with the zingers today. Anywho, diddly. So let's talk about the ways in which comparison can be a bad thing. I think it starts with us forgetting that we're only seeing a very small part of something. This is huge, especially out in the world of social media. You can't be on social media all the time. I run a business based in social media, and I can't be on social media all the time. It's unrealistic. So we tend to put our best foot forward, our best face forward, our best eyebrow makeup forward, whatever it is. You're just seeing a glimpse into their life. That's all social media really is. And people are likely... I'm going to be honest and say, I think they're on two spectrums. They're showing the best of the best, or they're giving the like, woe is me, life is terrible, this awful thing happened. Kind of, you're getting that. You're not really just getting the middle ground. Like, what is regular life like? We went to a conference a few years ago, and the speaker talked about this idea that we really only know 10% of someone else's story, 10% of what's going on in their life, really, what's happening behind the scenes. How's their marriage? How are their finances? How are their kids? How are they really feeling? Is their makeup on point and their outfit looks great, but they are so sad and lonely on the inside, or whatever it is, you only get to see maybe 10% of their life. And that's what you're comparing to. You're comparing your whole self to their best foot forward self. That's not realistic.
Right. So you see the highlight in that particular moment, but you don't see the journey either. So you see where they're at now, and that's great for them. But it can be a negative comparison trap for you. So you see this successful person, you don't see that they struggled and they've been working at this for 15 years and they had success and failures and pivots and learned hard lessons along the way to get to where they're at now.
Yeah, you're seeing their chapter 20. You're just on chapter 1, just starting maybe a similar journey, but you're forgetting that there are 20 chapters between you and them. And in those chapters, they have had failures, they've had setbacks, they've walked through hard patches, they had many, many days that weren't great, but you're forgetting that because you're just looking at where they are right now. And that's where comparison becomes negative. It also is not a positive when you're thinking about, you're looking at them in that comparison way and you're forgetting that just because it worked for them, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Life is not a one size fits all. That exercise program that they rocked may not be the best thing for you. Your body is different. Your time, your availability is different. What you like is different than what they like. Their parenting style, their nutrition plan, their exercise, their job, whatever it is the perfect fit for them or it works for them, but it's not for you. And that's okay. But you're comparing and you're trying to fit yourself into their mold. And well, she did that workout and that workout gave her that body. So I'm going to do just what she does. Even though you hate every second of it, it's taxing your body. It's not creating the same results because it's not for you. It's not one size fits all.
Right. So your friend that lost 20 pounds doing keto, that's great for her, but that doesn't mean that you're going to lose 20 pounds doing keto. It's very specific to you.
Yeah, doesn't even mean that keto is right for your body because PS, spoiler alert, it's not right for everybody. It can also, that kind of comparison when you start to look at just their highlights or what's working for them and it's not working for you, those little bits, I think it's when it can become a negative is when it starts to damage relationships because it can. Your friendships, your coworkers, whatever it is, you want to be happy for that friend that lost this 20 pounds on keto and you are happy, but you're jealous. Let's be honest. You're jealous. You want to lose 20 pounds too. You did the same thing at keto. You ate the same thing she ate. You even asked her for her meal plan and you followed right along what she did and you gained 5 pounds. And you're mad and you're frustrated and it's not about her or about that situation. It's just that it wasn't the right fit for you, but it starts to eat at you a little bit and you start to get envious and you're just like, oh, it's just, she's got a better metabolism or this or that. And those little things can start to cause little cracks in relationships. And those cracks can get bigger and cause bigger problems and damage relationships because you are comparing yourself to them. And you are unique and wonderful just the way you are, and so are they. That's where comparison is not healthy for us.
You might not be aware of that, but it's having that those negative reactions by way of comparisons is going to start adding up. And then, your general sense of every time you hang out or interact with that person is kind of clouded by that negativity.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's kind of hanging over you. I think one thing to think about for this, our advice is check what you're bringing into your world. I compare. I do it every day. I'd be lying if I didn't. And when it is an unhealthy situation, I start to check, like when it starts to make me not feel good about myself, I have to check, what am I bringing in? Look at my social media. Whose stories am I watching? What is in my news feed? What am I listening to? What am I watching? What am I reading? What's on the radio? All the things that you bring into your day.
Who are you hanging out with?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who do you hang out with? Who are you spending your time with? Who are you talking to on the phone? Yes, people still do that. Where is it coming from? And then having an awareness of how you're feeling about that. If you're starting to compare yourself in a negative way and it's creating negative emotions within you, it's not about them. You wish them the best. I know you do in your heart, because I do too. I have had people that I've followed and I am happy for them, but I'm also jealous, and it's also starting to eat at me and make me feel bad about myself. Then guess what? It's time for a break. You can unfollow that person. There's a beautiful button in social media called mute. They don't know that you muted them. You just muted them. It's not a bad thing. It's for yourself. It's loving yourself enough to take a step away from that at the moment. If it's making you feel a certain way, a negative way, making you feel badly about yourself and where you are on chapter 1, and you can't think about the chapters between you and them right now, then step away from it. Reframe who you're looking at. Look for a different influence that won't make you feel some kind of way about it. And then you can circle back when and if the time is right.
Yeah, if you can't put everything in context and, all these things, so recognizing that you're only seeing the highlights, then you need to just not see it at all.
Yeah.
For now.
It's a season. I have a couple of friends who are friends of mine, but their social medias were making me feel some kind of way. I hit that 30-day snooze button, and they don't know it, but I needed to do that. It was the right decision for me in that moment, and I can address why I'm feeling some kind of way, do some introspective work and some journaling and work through that on my own self, but that's what I needed to do right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. So girl, hit snooze if you need to. Pardon this interruption, but I need to ask you a quick question. Are you someone who wants to improve your life but are stumped on where to start? You know you want better for your marriage, your finances, maybe for your health, or for all the things, but just thinking about it feels totally overwhelming. So you stay stuck. Friend, I totally know that feeling. I lived in that achy place for years. I finally started to see change. I'm talking about real change, not just 1 or 2 days worth of change. When I began focusing on just one area at a time. And I know you can do that very same thing. In fact, I know you can do it even faster than I did. Sounds like a challenge to me. But you can get there by using our Where to Focus First tool. What's this, you ask? Well, it's a brand new download that I created to help you hone in your focus to move out of the stuck into the life that you dream of. This tool is totally free. Oh yeah, you heard that right. I know how crappy it can feel to look around and feel like everyone else is getting what they want and you just don't know where to begin. So I'm sharing with you the exact steps we used for free. All you need to do is head over to blainephillips.com/focus and download your copy today. All right, back to me and Jason bantering away.
So on the flip side, I think there's ways that comparing to others can be a motivating factor. So these are the good aspects, the good takeaways of comparisons.
Yeah. Looking at other people that have gone ahead of you in something that you want to do, whatever that may be. You want to run a marathon and seeing someone that aligns with you, a 40-year-old mom of 2 and she ran her first marathon at 40 and that's a goal of yours. That comparison is healthy because it shows you that it's possible. Now you have that proof out there in the world that it is a thing that has been done, can be done again and again, especially in scenarios like that where you really relate to that person. Maybe you line up in the same age, in the same stage of life. You're both moms, whatever it is, and whatever that particular goal you might be going for at the time is. Those people out there sharing their story show you that it's possible and give you that belief that oh, wow, she did it and she's like me. I can too.
And depending on, how much you know about this person or what they share, they might kind of provide you a roadmap to get to where they are. So knowing, like we talked about, you don't really know all the behind the scenes and the years that they spent to get to that point. Well, you can look at that in a positive way and say, all right, well, they did it. So how did they get there?
Oh my gosh, yes. That's the bee's knees. People who are willing to share like what they did and how they got there and the lessons they learned along the way. That's the point of us. That's the point of this podcast, is just to always be real with you and tell you what's going on and seasons that we've walked through and tell you how we avoided certain traps or we didn't avoid it and it was a crap fest and this is how we made it through. And hopefully you'll learn some lessons and be able to skip through a couple of the mucky parts. That's amazing to show you that, hey, I have this goal as a 40-year-old mom to run this marathon, and this is how I did it. This is, instead of the normal training of 3 months, I extended it to 6 months. I'm making this up because I have no idea how long it trains for a marathon because I'm never going to run 26 miles. But I extended it to 6 months because I am a mom of two, and that was more realistic in my life. And this is how I broke it down into my world. They've just given you a roadmap to your goal. It's a great place to start. That is positive comparison. The other thing, a little competition can be healthy. Like, it can be. It gets our juices flowing and we're excited, and you're not comparing, you're just healthfully, is that a word? I made that word up. I don't know. Healthfully competing with that person who is maybe just ahead of you or super close, and you encourage each other, but also nudge each other to push just a little bit further. I think you've aligned with people at the gym that are like,
Right.
that's a thing for you.
Yeah, and I'm familiar enough with them to kind of gauge, all right, if they're doing that, then I should be able to do this. So, or running is an easy example. So, like, such can do a 5K in 27 minutes. I'm like, all right, well, I'm close to them. I should be able, that gives me a goal. I can keep that pace. Keep up with them.
Yeah. As long as you're keeping it healthy. You're not, you come on now, in your gut when it's healthy and it encourages you and pushes you to be a little bit better, or when you become resentful and it starts to cause those cracks in friendships like we talked about. So it's the same thing as in a negative. Check who you're bringing into your life. Who are you listening to? Who are you reading about? Who are you watching? Who are you hanging out with? Do you have role models in your life that are where you want to go, that can instill that possibility of belief in you, that you can get that roadmap to? You may not even really know them. Like, you don't have to be a person. I have like life goals. There is a woman who I follow out in the world. She is in the social media, and she is like hashtag life goals. Her marriage, her parenting, her business, her health, like so many things for me. We are like best friends, and we've never met. Actually, we did meet once, but she doesn't know my name. I was like a book signing thing, but we are not friends. She does not know me. I do not have her digits, but she is a huge role model in my life in a healthy way. So it doesn't have to be a person that you know, or it can be, but what are they bringing in? Do you have those people that are making you feel like what you want to do is possible and that you're good enough? And when you look at them, you're not thinking, oh man, I could never get that. I'm not good enough. You look at them and you're like, yes.
Right. You're inspired, you're motivated, whatever. Just It's a positive experience.
Right. You're like, yes, I will get there too, because that's what you need. Those are the kind of people you need to make sure that you have in your life that are inspiring you. Yes, they're ahead of you. That's great. Then you know it's possible. And then they can tell you how to do it. They can reach back and hold your hand out and say, hey girl, this is how I did it. Follow me.
Right. They didn't start there. So that's just where they ended up or where they are now.
Yes. Comparison has bad parts, and you have to guard yourself against it and be honest with yourself and check, how is it making you feel? Do you need to take a step back? Do you need to figure out some other people to bring into your life? Do you need to check yourself and remember that you're only seeing a glimpse into their life, and just because it's right for them doesn't mean it's right for you? But it can also be so good. It can give you the possibility. It can remind you that yes, you can too. It can show you how to get there, and you can be inspired by some amazing people out in the world who have done it, and know you can too. It's not always a thief of joy, but make sure that you're not allowing it to be that either.
Yeah. So jump on the socials, tag some people that inspire you. Let us know who you're following. That gives you that kind of positive comparison, that motivation, inspiration.
Yeah. And if you head on over to my socials today, I will tell you who that person is for me. I told you about her. I told you she's #goals. So I'll share it in my stories to send you over there. I will tell you exactly who she is and why I adore her so much. I mean, she's really funny. All right. Until next time.